I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hello and welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and let's get this show started. Oh man, what a day! What a day! It's just a long day. I had physical therapy today, and I was so tired when I got home from it. I was extremely tired. I took a nap, and I just been out of it basically all day. Physical therapy is very tough. It's not easy. And my therapist, she's really, really good, really aggressive, and she knows what she's doing. But man, I come out so much in pain afterwards. I feel like I feel like it's more like torture than it is helpful to me. But like they say, no pain, no gain, right? So I got a lot of pain. Also, I would like to start off the show by saying a big congratulations to Tyson De La Cruz. Our friend of the show here has made it to 100,000 subscribers today. That is such an awesome achievement. I knew he was gonna gain it quick. I knew it was like any day he was gonna hit 100,000, and sure enough, he hit 100,000, and I'm so appreciative of him, and I'm so happy for him and his achievements, and it's just only gonna get bigger. I just hope he's ready for the load that's coming his way, because it's gonna be a lot of attention his way. And again, congratulations to Tyson De La Cruz for 100,000 subscribers. Holy smokes! Imagine if I had 100,000 subscribers, I would go freaking crazy. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but you never know. I'm still reaching for 500. I'm only 15 away from 500, so we gotta push for 500. Wow, Tyson reached 100,000. I'm just trying to reach 500. Can I please get 500, please? Oh boy, it's all good. But we're gonna get to some news first. We're gonna start off with the weather. of course, we're going to go to the weather. We're going to check out, see what's going on out here in the tropics. Got to make this nice and big for us. Um, let's go ahead and switch this out. Give me 1 second. Let me fix this because I'd rather have it on this side. 1 sec so I could load it up. There we go. And now let's make it nice and big for us to see. What I'm seeing here is a couple of things that has my attention. Of course, we have Aaron here. Aaron is a tropical storm. It doesn't look impressive today, but that's just a precursor of what's to come because this thing is growing really big. I don't know if people have noticed. This storm was a little teeny weeny thing when it was back here. Now it's like this huge system that it's just gonna it's moving towards the west, a little bit down to the south from what it was earlier. So it's kind of moving like on a like a west southwest trajectory, which is starting to put these islands up here, like St. Thomas and Puerto Rico, in the crosshairs of the system. Most likely it doesn't go down here, but we never know because this system is weak right now. It's a weak tropical storm. And usually weak storms tend to trend more southwards than a strong, powerful hurricane. Strong, powerful hurricanes tend to trend northwards. So if this system continues to be weak and continues to be pushed down to the south, there's an opportunity that the storm could regenerate very fast and affect the islands, at least the northern Antilles here, and possibly St. Thomas and Puerto Rico could be affected by the storm. Back here, we got a couple of waves coming off of Africa that's about to get into the thick of things here. And is it going to develop back here? I don't know. I mean, there's possibility because there's a lot of moisture, and this is going to help like wring out the dry air and the Saharan dust. You can see all this here. It's like dry air, and you can see the Saharan dust is back here. That's why the system, it's kind of like it looks like it's struggling at the moment. Let's take a closer look at the system. Let's go ahead and move back here and get a closer look. Let me go to the mesoscale. Let's go over here. Let's check it out. This is Aaron right here. Let it upload. This is what the system's looking like at the moment. What I'm seeing big time development that's going on right here. You see this blossoming of red and white, this little white cloud top. That's high cloud top. That's like, it's really cold, so the atmosphere, like the satellite is reading it as white. That's heavy rain, heavy thunderstorms around the southern part of this storm. It's probably around the eye because this is around what the center of the system is. So this system is going to start getting its act together overnight. I won't be surprised if this thing is like a monster by the morning. Never know. It can be. Let's go ahead and drop back. Let's come over here. Let's go back to the Atlantic wide. This area also that I'm looking at in the Caribbean, there's a system, not a system, but it's a group of storms that gathered here. It doesn't look tropical at the moment, but you always got to keep an eye on these systems because sometimes they tend to pop up and turn into quick tropical storms. The system that was in the Gulf of Mexico / America, wherever you want to call it, it seems like it's still hanging around in the Gulf, but a lot of moisture has gotten inland and into Mississippi, and Alabama's getting a lot of rain tonight. In Georgia, northern Georgia, into the Atlanta area, you guys are going to get heavy rain. South Carolina also into the North Carolina bend here where Tennessee and North Carolina meets up. There's going to be a lot of rain on this area. It's a lot of rain. A lot of, like, look at the monsoon rain going on here. A lot of energy in this side of the states here. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be monitoring this more and more. Right now, it's just in the beginning phases, but this storm is going to. I think it's gonna explode once it gets to like this area here. I would say, what is this? The longitude will be 50 west, and once it reaches 50 west and it stays around the 18 north, which will be around here, this is where the system is just gonna explode and take off, and it's gonna turn into a monster. Um, and we'll be here to report on it. I do have other news to go and review. I'm trying to keep this short today. I'm not trying to be here for like too long, but let's see what I got here. Yeah, I got a lot of little stories to catch up on. First off, let's go with the Trumpster with the reclassification of marijuana. I hope he does it. I hope he makes it a little less dangerous drug. We'll find out.
Cities to follow DC's path if this goes through. So the idea is that Chicago, LA, San Francisco, would they expect similar action what we've seen in DC? And the other question, sir, there's reporting that the administration is going to reclassify marijuana. Would that send mixed messages that if marijuana is okay, some drugs are okay, but we're trying to clean up crime? How do they go hand in hand?
We're only looking at that. That's early, but somebody reported it, which is fine. We're looking at it. Some people like it. Some people hate it. Some people hate the whole concept of marijuana because if it does bad for the children, it does bad for people that are older.
That's good for me.
We're looking at
Talking about marijuana, I got some right here.
a determination over the next, I would say, over the next few
Gonna
years.
light it up.
And that determination hopefully will be the right one. It's a very complicated subject. The subject.
It's not complicated to me,
Good
Trump,
things
because we
having to do
got
with medical,
marijuana right here,
things having to do with just about
and it's
everything
ready
else, but medical and
for me to smoke, and it
for
smells
pain
good.
and various things. I've heard some pretty good things, but for other things, I've heard some pretty bad things. The
Trump is not bad for me.
other part of your question, I mean, we're just going to see what happens with it all. You're going to have
The Trump, I'm
we
gonna
have a
smoke it while you're
tremendous
talking.
success in what we're doing. Other cities are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching, and maybe they'll self clean up, and maybe they'll self do this and get rid of the cashless bail thing and all of the things that caused the problem. I mean, if you go back, this whole thing with cashless bail is a disaster. So many problems came that we never had before. Uh, so they're watching us today, and if they don't learn their lesson, if they haven't studied us properly, because we're going to be very successful. I have zero doubt about that. It's going to be. It's a question of will it be really fast, like the border. Everyone said they used to say Biden used to say, "I need legislation. I need." You didn't need. I didn't get any legislation. I called up our people, and we did a great job. Tom Homan was great. As you know, our secretary did a great job. They did a great job. There's no games. They didn't play games, and we're gonna have the same thing here. But then I'm gonna look at New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's gonna go pretty quickly, and if we need to, we're gonna do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there
Oh
who's
wow!
totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man, and we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business, and he ran for governor. And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You never know what happens. But Pritzker's a gross incompetent guy, thrown out of the family business. Uh, but when I look at Chicago and I look at LA, if we didn't go to LA 3 months ago, LA would be burning like the part that didn't burn. If he would have allowed the water to come down, which I told him about in my first term, I said, you're going to have problems. Let it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into LA. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully LA is watching. That mayor also, the city's burning. They lost like 25,000 homes. I went there the day after the fire. You were there. And I saw people standing in front of a burned down home. It was, their homes were incinerated. They weren't like, even the steel was literally, it was all warped and literally disintegrated because of the winds and the flame and the whole thing, like a blowtorch. They were standing on this beautiful day, maybe a couple of days after. We gave it a little time because what they had suffered, almost 25,000 homes. And you see what's happening now. They didn't give their permits. I went to a town hall meeting.
Yeah,
I
they
said,
didn't
we're
give them
going to give you the
permits.
federal permits, which are much harder. Almost immediately, Lee Zeldin is a star. He did an incredible job. They have all their federal permits. They don't have their city permits. And the mayor said to me, we think we could have them in 2 years. I was walking down the street and I met with firemen and police. And I was saying hello to many people that were standing in front of their homes with yellow tape. You can't go in, you can't go onto the lot. And those people wanted to start rebuilding the homes then and there. And the mayor said we should be able to get them the permits within 2 years. I said, that's a shame. 2 years. Are you kidding? I'm going to get them the federal permit like almost immediately. 2 years. And she drew it back. Well, maybe 1 year. The place was booing her out of the place. They don't have their permits to build their homes. And
Wow.
now they're talking about putting, this is among the most beautiful areas was in the country. Now they're talking about putting low income housing there. Can you believe this? I love low income housing. I made money with low income housing. I built low income housing. I know more about low income housing and luxury housing. I know about everything real estate. They want to replace some of those homes with low income housing.
Mm.
They haven't gotten their permits yet. We've gotten all the federal permits, which are much tougher to get. And it was done almost immediately through Lee Zeldin and Federal Environmental. And I watched the other day, those people are angry. And now, they had tremendous, they loved that area. They loved the whole big area, different places, but they loved it. It was all luxury stuff and beautiful stuff. And some wasn't that luxury, but the level of love for that neighborhood, their neighborhoods was incredible. And you know what? I watched people on television. They want to go. They want to leave. They've lost their spirit. They've lost their heart because the mayor's incompetent. And Gavin Newsom is incompetent. Got a good line of bullshit, but that's about it. He's incompetent. And you have Los Angeles is, it's amazing. I called, the first thing I did, I got the Olympics to go there. I was the one that got it. And by a rare thing that happened, I'll be the president. I was very upset because I got the Olympics there, and I said I won't be president when it comes. But bad things happened, and illegal things happened. Really illegal things happened. Now it turns out one good thing was I'm going to be the president for the Olympics for 2050, for 250, which is going to be fantastic, and also for the World Cup. So we have a lot of good things, and I hope 250 is going to be the 250th anniversary is going to be the best. But when I looked at those people and I saw last night on television that they still don't have their permits, it's
Wow.
a disgrace what's happened in Los Angeles.
That is crazy that Los Angeles still has not released permits for to build back, for the homeowners that lost everything to start like getting their lives back together and start like building back. They can't. They can't because the city is too incompetent to fucking do their job and release the permits to the homeowners. Like Trump is releasing the federal permits, which is a lot harder to get. He's releasing it to them to the people of LA, but now we have to wait for the city. And Karen Bass is too busy fighting ICE with immigration and helping her people. She's not doing her job. She's not capable of doing multiple tasks. As you can see, LA is gone down the drain. And it sucks. I used to live out there. I lived a year in LA. I lived in like Hollywood. I lived in Hollywood. I lived in Pasadena, and I lived in West Covina. So I know what California is because I lived there and I experienced California, and it has a lot of issues. It has a lot of problems, and the gang problem is real. The cartel problem is super real there, and there's a lot of drugs that gets pretty much distributed in LA, and it's destroying the community. It's very sad, man. When I was there, I saw a lot of things. I'm not going to talk about it on this episode because it's just a lot of stuff that I saw out there. Like, it was just disgusting. It was very disgusting, and it's just weird. Let me set up the other while I'm talking. Let me set up all the others that we're gonna watch together, because we do have I did open up a whole bunch for us to watch. I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna watch it together. But I like to have it set up so that way we have something to watch here, and that way it'll save me time towards the end. All right, I think we're almost there. Yes, we are there. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next video. Where are we gonna go? Well, let's just go down the line. We're gonna go back to this report that I did yesterday on the Austin, Texas Target shooting. Police identified triple homicide suspect. Details bizarre arrest. We're gonna watch this together because they're saying a bizarre arrest. I would like to know what was so bizarre about it, but we'll find out together.
Right now to Austin, Texas, getting an update from 3 people that were killed in a Target shooting that happened yesterday out in Austin, Texas. Let's listen on live now.
4-year-old granddaughter. Those are the lives we lost yesterday.
Who?
There are no words that can truly capture the grief these families are experiencing or the shock our community feels. To our officers and first responders who rushed to the scene and rendered aid under such tragic circumstances, thank you. I know the sights you faced yesterday will never leave you, but your compassion and your courage do not go unnoticed. What happened yesterday was an unprovoked and deliberate attack, a deliberate act of violence. Innocent lives were taken in broad daylight in a place where people should feel safe to run their everyday errands and to live their everyday lives. The actions of the suspects showed a complete disregard for human life, and the pain caused will be felt by our community for years to come. The suspect in this has been identified as Ethan Nineker, a white male, 32 years of age.
32.
Nineker has a history with the Austin Police Department, which includes assault causing bodily injury to a family member, driving while intoxicated,
What?
possession of marijuana, violation
I have
of a
marijuana right
protective
here.
order, and 2 mental health reports. We know this incident has left many of you feeling shaken in our community, but I want to
Are they
reassure
gonna try to
everyone
blame
here
the
that
marijuana?
suspect is now in custody, and at this point, we'll let justice take its course. I want to thank
He
the
had the
community
wacky
members
weed?
who took time and who acted quickly, who called 911, provided witness statements, understanding that they were inside Target.
Oh,
came
okay,
out.
this is
We had many
yesterday's
witnesses
story.
who were there.
This is with the
that
guy
stayed for
who shot
hours
the
to
3
help
people in the
assist us.
parking
So I want to
lot,
thank them.
and he carjacked it like 3 people.
Our department is fully committed to seeking justice for these
Yeah,
victims.
he carjacked the
and
3
their
people,
families,
and
and
then
this
they
will remain
got
a
him.
top priority
They
for
were
us as
able
we move
to
forward.
have him
Every
under arrest.
question has to be answered, and every charge will be pursued that is within the law. In times like this, we must come together as a community to support the families who are grieving and to lift each other up and stand together united against violence. I'm going to now turn it over to Sergeant Sexton from our homicide unit to go over details of this incident. Sergeant?
This is a wild story.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to hear the details of it. Yeah, a lot of papers, man. You should have been more organized. This is a press conference, dude. Making too much noise.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Chief Davis. My name is Nathan Sexton. I'm one of the 2 homicide sergeants. Yesterday on Monday, August 11th, at approximately 2:15 p.m., officers responded to multiple calls of 911 shooting at the Target at 8601 Research Boulevard. When officers arrived, they found target employee Hector Martinez Machuca suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported to the hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. Nearby, officers located Adam Chow, his wife, and their 4-year-old granddaughter. Mr. Chow and the child had been fatally shot, and Mr. Chow's wife had sustained minor injuries.
Oh my God, he killed the
Our
child.
investigation showed that the suspect, Ethan Nineker, first shot Mr. Martinez Machuca as he was collecting carts in the parking lot. He then approached Chow's family vehicle, shooting and killing Mr. Chow and the 4-year-old before assaulting Mrs. Chow and stealing their gray Toyota 4Runner. Over the next hour, Nineker committed multiple crimes, including attempting to steal a water truck, causing multiple crashes, assaulting another female driver, and stealing her Volkswagen. He also attempted to break into a Waymo vehicle, vandalized the home of an acquaintance, and was later seen naked in a residential backyard. Officers
Naked in a residential
located
backyard?
and walking on Montclair Street. After refusing commands, he was tased and taken into custody at 3:06 p.m. As for the charges, Nineker has been charged with 2 counts of capital murder for the deaths of Adam Chow and the 4-year-old juvenile victim, as well as the first-degree felony murder of Hector Martinez Machuca. Additional charges are pending related to assaults, vehicle thefts, and property damage. This case is being investigated as Austin's 39th, 40th, and 41st homicide of 2025.
Oh my God.
We are asking for anyone who has additional information. We know there are many people out there who may have recorded this, taken photos, any digital evidence.
Target has video.
There's a QR
of the
code.
parking lot.
We're asking anyone that
They have
has
cameras.
witness accounts, video footage, please contact APD at 512-974-TIPS.
The other
You
area
may also
stores
submit
may
the
have
tips
cameras
anonymously
that
to
might
the
have
Capital
caught
Area Crime Stoppers
something.
or crimestoppers.org, or by calling 512-472-8477, or by using the QR code here displayed.
Raise your hand for questions. Okay, we'll start with Betty, then go to Kelsey.
Do you know how he got the weapons he used, or if he had a license for those weapons?
I don't know about the license. The firearm was acquired through family.
Kelsey, then Angela.
Can you explain, I know you said that he started off in Research Boulevard and Target, and then he made his way carjacking multiple people and ended up in South Austin. How were you guys able to track him properly and get a hold of him in the neighborhood?
Initially, we weren't sure that it was the same person. There were no other shots fired after the initial Target incident, as far as we know. But from there, we were able to find surveillance video at multiple scenes. He was wearing the same floral Hawaiian shirt at all of these
I can answer
scenes.
a little bit of this too, Nate.
Sure.
I think it's also important to recognize as these events were unfolding, people were calling 911. We also had our air support in the air who was able to find the car and follow the car at that point.
Man, I like her.
We
I don't know
all have
why.
Flock safety cameras.
Let's go to
I
Angela.
like her.
Did the suspect, give
He's
any
good.
reason as to why he did this, what his motive may have been?
He said that he was Jesus, and there was really no
This
reason
kid?
whatsoever given. It was a completely random
That's
choosing of
Jesus?
the victims.
Yeah, sure. So I guess going off of that, sounds was the basis that the department says the suspect
That's what the
has
guy
a
looks
history of
like.
mental illness. I know that's a phrase that was used yesterday. That
That's the
he has a
loser?
history of mental illness. What was kind of the thing that that was based on that? And if you
Well,
could tell us more about that.
you know, I told you the
I think
energy
looking
is
at his
very strong.
record and APD's involvement with him, I don't want to get into
I think
specifics
I'm
at this
fine.
point because
I
we are
know
talking about
energy.
medical.
I know what I'm not saying.
But again, I can say that as far as the victims he chose, those were random, but this man had some serious issues. And I think about the systems that failed. In a way, as we move forward, we're looking at this background. And again, this is going to be things that are going to be coming up in the months and the years ahead. There were some serious failures here on behalf of, many when you're looking at potentially some mental illness there.
We'll go to Eva and then up here.
I just wondering.
Are you
if
gonna
there
blame
were
the
any
marijuana?
recent welfare checks, and also I had heard Senator Eckhart say today that he was found naked and holding a Bible, and wondered if you could comment on that.
That is when officers approached him, and he was tased at that point and taken into custody.
And then any recent welfare checks?
I don't recall any that I saw.
Here and then Adrian.
Can you confirm if he was employed before this incident? And if
Damn, they tased him
anyone
while he was
concerned about
naked.
his behavior?
That's
Like,
crazy.
I talked to somebody that knew him that said that he was acting kind of out of the normal before this.
Nathan, do you want to answer that? Nothing.
Now, the people are very scared of these type of incidents. What you are doing for preventing these type of things when the people are going crazy with a gun?
Well, I think, you have to look at this, and we've got someone with some serious mental health issues, and where are we able to take them? What help are they getting when you're dealing with someone with these issues? Where does someone with this capacity to do this get a weapon? And when does a family member feel comfortable giving someone with these issues a weapon?
That's
Mario,
wild.
and then we'll head back over to you.
With the criminal history that he has, a lot of people are asking how does he wandering in the street, like how he wasn't part of the criminal justice, why was he free?
Yeah, I think looking at his record, I don't think we had any incidents with him. I think 2024 was the last contact we had, and that was him calling for some found property that he was turning over to us. I have not had an opportunity, and I don't know that Nathan has from homicide, an opportunity to delve into his history here and what each
Not
case
yet,
where that
but you
developed
guys
from.
working on it.
Over here, and then we'll go back.
Yeah, you guys said, when you found him, it was a family member's gun. Did you guys end up recovering that weapon? Do you have any other details on that weapon specifically?
We do, yes. So I'd mentioned he had crashed out that gray 4Runner, and it was recovered in that vehicle before he switched and then proceeded to assault other people without a gun.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't. That's unknown at this time. We're still collecting all the information, but it's believed the only shots fired were at the target.
And piggybacking on that, could the family face any charges for allowing this weapon to get into his hands? Or I don't know all the details of it, but what could we see there?
Sure. Unknown. We still have to investigate that.
We'll go here on the right, a minute here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how he got it.
My question is whether or not the family member will be held accountable, or if there will be any accountability for the person who gave him that gun.
Sure. Like I said, we still have to look into it.
And on the history of mental health, are you guys aware of a specific diagnosis that he has received over time? And at any point, did he receive treatment? Was he ever put somewhere for treatment?
I don't think they will know that right now.
You said, Chief, you mentioned that the system failed. I'm just trying to get a better understanding of what part of the system actually failed.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about the past incidents that we had with him on mental health runs. And where is the follow-up there? And for someone to have the capacity to take the life of 3 innocent people and a 4-year-old child.
See, the energy is
looking
too
more
high.
into
I'm
this, it
telling
will
you,
be
the
interesting to
sun.
kind of peel that back and see where those
I did a
failures took
show
place.
talking about this energy.
There is not that I'm
People
aware of.
handle it.
We'll go to Kelsey.
Exactly what I told you guys. What happened? Look what happened.
I don't remember the exact type. It was a handgun pistol.
Status
I'm good
of
at what I
the
do.
people who were carjacked, like injured or their cars. What can you tell us about that?
Assault with injury. So, like the driver of the water truck was assaulted. He's okay. It was relatively minor injury that obviously trauma. Like someone jumps in your vehicle. I think there's probably going to be more lasting injury from that.
And the Volkswagen?
Same thing. Assaulted physically, but and thrown from the vehicle as well.
Take a few more. Let's go to Eva, then do we have a question in the back here? And then we'll go back over here.
There was recently a bill passed through the legislature banning red flag enforcement of guns, basically keeping an anti-red flag ban is what it was. And I know that hasn't gone into effect yet, but I'm curious if this has you concerned about, Austin's ability to keep guns away from people who maybe shouldn't have them.
Well, I think I need to learn more about this instance, right? And was this gun handed to him? How was this given before I make any type of statement like that?
How did he get access to it?
Do you know if he was on any?
Hey, Chloe, we're talking about your area, Texas.
The press release mentioned something about him throwing a brick in someone's
Crazy.
window from his Bible study. Do you know more
Crazy. You guys
about
are
how that was
Texas
going,
can't handle the energy.
Sure, we're still looking into the drug portion of it. He could have been
Hey,
under the influence of narcotics. It might not necessarily be all attributed to mental illness, so we're still investigating all of that. The brick through the window was called in by somebody he had known who had claimed to have had Bible study with him in the past. So he recognized him and just called, his window being vandalized, and then he left that scene and proceeded to move on.
We'll do here, Betty, and then finish here.
Yeah, Target told us to ask you guys any questions as regards to their situation. They told me today that the store is closed. Do you guys have any timeline as to when that Target will reopen?
We do not know. As soon as we clear the scene, which we did last night, it was in their custody, so we're not holding it for any other reason. So it's up to them as to when they were to reopen.
So can you elaborate the timeline when you said that he tried to steal the water truck, couldn't start it, and
Man,
then
they lost an employee. That's so scary, man.
Yes. So tell me the specific instance, the times you're looking
Yeah,
for.
so the water truck, before he got to the 4Runner, he didn't start the truck.
So the water truck was at about 2:20 p.m. and then the Volkswagen 2:25.
Was it because he couldn't start that truck? And
Correct. He's there's video of it, and he's sitting there trying to start it, and you can tell that he cannot operate the vehicle.
Wow.
Do you feel like flock safety cameras would have helped even more? I know y'all were quick in what you did, but would have helped even more in the pursuit of him?
Yes, I'm a big fan of the and maybe not flock camera, definitely a fan of the LPR and what that can do. And when you're looking at violent crimes such as this, it absolutely helps in the apprehension. Yes.
And what do we know about the suspect? Did he live alone? Did he live with family?
Yeah, Chloe. This boy killed Target employee and
From what I heard, he worked at a restaurant
family of
and lived
one.
alone. That's as far as I know.
Killed the
about him.
father. The mother, I think, survived, but the child was killed also. The child was shot.
So the
I believe
process
in the
for
chest,
the police
and
department, we're called
the
to
father and the daughter
either
died.
a suspected mental
And the third one that died
issue.
was the Target employee.
Officers respond, they talk to the person, and if in their opinion they do need
That's so
medical
scary.
help,
Yeah,
they are
it's
then
very
transported and a
sad.
hold is put on them. An emergency
very, very
detention hold is
sad.
placed, I believe, up to 72 hours.
Thanks, guys. We're going to reset for Spanish. So if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. If not,
Okay.
That is the update from police officials out in Austin. That was really a wild scene throughout the city in Austin yesterday. Multiple carjackings by the suspect, and then he was found naked holding a Bible. Right before that, he was trying to get into a Waymo vehicle. And unfortunately, 3 people did lose their lives yesterday. And we heard just the extensive criminal history from this suspect, as well as some mental health issues as well.
Okay, well, it's my mind over my my mind over your matter. What the fuck? I did say this the other day that the energy is very high and a lot of people can't handle the energy and crazy shit was gonna happen. I told people to be careful going to Walmart, going to Target, going out of these places to be careful. And I just felt that energy. I just knew. You could go back and watch. Like, yeah, go back and watch. And you hear me say, I just read the energy. And sure enough, look what happened yesterday. And that's so sad. That's just, the mother must be like devastated. Like, oh my God. And she survived. Wow. And the fact that he left the scene, because this is how my mind is playing, right? He left the scene. He carjacked it, a couple of cars. He tried to carjack water, I guess a water tank or water vehicle, which he couldn't operate it. He didn't know how to get it started and stuff. So I guess he dipped from there, carjacked it, another car, and then tried to break in a couple of places. Somehow ended up naked, holding a Bible, claiming to be Jesus. I tell you, the energy is super hyped. The energy in this world right now is very, very, very high. And we got like a lot of important things going on right now during this high energy. And then we also have Trump meeting Putin on Friday. Just wild things just gonna keep happening, man. Just my people, I hope you guys stay safe. The ones who listen, the ones who watch. Just you guys will be safe. but it's really wild out there, and I think it's being sparked by like the left. I believe what they're doing. They're releasing the hounds, right? They talk bad, they curse like a lot, like calling Trump was it orangutan? That's what Jasmine Crockett was doing her thing, her ghetto thing. Not so ghetto. Don't get it twisted. That one is a silver spoon. That's what I call silver spoons. I used to watch that show when it was back in the 80s. Remember Silver Spoons? I used to love it. The kid was named Ricky. My name is Ricky. Um, so I always thought, like, damn, imagine me being like that. It was a great show. It was a good show. Um, but Jasmine Crockett is a silver spoon. So is AOC. Bunch of silver spoons. And I hope Miss Crockett lost her seat in Texas. I need to follow up on that because she needs to lose her seat. She's the most disrespectful person in Congress I ever heard on media, because media just loving her because they just can't get enough of her. She's the boss lady, right? She's the one that her shit don't stink. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're living in unique times. I just feel like I died and I came back and I'm just witnessing like everything that's what's happening. My body's here, my soul is here, but a part of me died and I'm just continue living and seeing what's happening. And it just keeps getting crazier every single day. It seems like a Beetlejuice type of thing, remember Beetlejuice? I like the original. The new one is not so bad. It's not so bad. It's what it is, but it was not a bad movie. Beetlejuice. I saw it at the movie theater. It was pretty good. Very, very, like, it puts me in the mood every time I watch that Beetlejuice, the newer one, because it's like fall like, and it kind of puts you in that fall feel. I love the fall up here in Connecticut. Oh man, it's so beautiful. I love fall. I love fall and I love winter because I love the change of the leaves, and I love like those like the browns and the yellows and the reds, and just the foliage and how it looks, and it's just so beautiful. Oh, I think one day I'm gonna like get the GoPro and attach it to like the windshield. I'm gonna attach it and just hit record and just go for a drive up, you know, up to probably Maine, and taking the drive up there. So like just probably go up to Vermont. Maybe it'll be better just to go up to Vermont and then come back. That would be so cool to see the foliage. And even the wintertime with the snow, and you see the mountains with the snow on the top of them. It's so beautiful. I got to do something like that and put it on YouTube. You know, the channel's still growing. I got another subscriber last night, so we're at 485. I'm pushing for 500. It's like I'm pushing for 500. It's only 15 more, so I will work on the Nala video. I'm gonna do a Nala video, and then I'm gonna do like because I can't get all their pictures. I have so many pictures. It's wild. I gotta go and put them all in their favorites file, so that way it's easier for me to get their videos done, because I want to do a video of them together, because that's the mother. I have the mother and the daughter, so the mother's been getting good attention. The mother knows how to work it. I tell you, she knows how to work the camera. People love Tasha. Nala, she's just like the princess. She is. She's a good girl though. She gives me a lot of attention, and she's very loyal. Very loyal cat. She has her routines. I tell you that. Her routines is always on point. I already know her routines. But she's a great cat, man. That one's gonna suck when she passes away. That's gonna really suck. Because I hate when animals die. I had a couple of animals died on me, but not cat wise, and not well. The dog passed away, but it was in my mom's. I wasn't living with my mom. I had my own place at the time, but our dog passed away. It was a golden retriever. 9 out of 10, he died of a heart attack. And then when my first, I guess, pet that died on me, I would have to say my hamster. My hamster passed away on me. Literally on my chest. He passed away on me. His name was Virgil. Virgil the hamster. I don't know why I gave him that name. I don't know why I gave him Virgil, but I did. I was very unique as a kid. But he passed away on my chest, and then I buried him. It was just wild. Oh shit, let me go to the chat here. I'm sorry. When I get into my zone, I don't look at the chat, so I'm sorry. He looks like kid too. Yeah, he looks like a kid. He was naked with a Bible. Yes, he was naked with a Bible. That was just crazy. Oh, you got the wand? Oh, you gotta take pictures and put it on Discord. I can see it. When you gonna get your site going? Oh shit, he claimed to be Jesus. Yeah, he did. He claimed to be Jesus while holding the Bible. And he was naked, and they shocked the fuck out of him. They didn't even want to hear any of that shit. They went straight for it. I want to see those cameras of those officers. Like all the calls, all that stuff is recorded now. So they're gonna have video in the near future of this case and how they were responding to this case, and what all the calls that were coming in of different things happening in that short amount of time in that area. The video is gonna be incredible. I remember the name of that show, but not the actual show. Well, I'm at 352. 352. Okay, yeah. I'm at 485. I shoot. My channel it'll be catching heat. Watch me predict something big, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh shit." We need to go listen to Rick. I say, "Yep, we got to." A lot of people, are missing out. I had my stories and my about my gifts and what I'm capable of. My payment options apparently. So you have to change your payment options apparently. Yeah, make sure you have afterpay. Um, but yeah, get that site going because I want to check it out. Yeah, there's a store over here not too far from me, but I don't know, the energy doesn't really call me to that store. You know, there's certain people you go like with the energy, right? So I everything I go is for how I feel and what the energy tells me to do. And some places I just don't go because the energy doesn't tell me to go, you know? So I always listen to myself. I've learned to listen to myself. A lot of people then they always contradicting themselves. I learned to listen to myself. But I got some more news to go over. But that kid naked, you can imagine naked holding the Bible, claiming he's Jesus after killing 3 people. The fourth one was in very in critical condition, but she didn't die from it. So oh my god, I feel so horrible for her. And I hope they do like a GoFundMe for her to help raise money and stuff because she's gonna have like PTSD really bad. After losing her husband and her child that was 4 years old. I mean, mothers would know. I'm not a mother, and I feel that energy very strong. You know? Man, that's just hard. And I told you guys something shit like this was gonna happen. I told you guys, look, be careful with Walmart, be careful with these places. People are acting weird, people are acting wild. Like this was at a Target, you know? That's Target. Target is fancy bougie shit, okay? They do have nice stuff though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. They have really good like towels. Their towels are really good. Like their bedding is not bad. Their decorations are not that bad. Pretty pricey though. They are pricey, but they're good quality. Um, Other than that, it's bushy. It's very bushy. Um, Walmart is more like it's like reckless. Walmart, you don't know what's coming in. Every day is a new day. You don't know what freaks are gonna come out. And trust me, I saw one the other day. I don't know if it was a trans day or what, but I ran into like 3 trans like dressed really bad that had like mustache and a beard wearing a dress. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I was like, I must be living in an alternate universe right now. I think I'm living in a different timeline and I'm witnessing all this that's going on and I'm like, what's happening here? What's happening? What's going on here? But yeah, I just feel like a piece of me had died and the rest is going through the mess and it's just getting weirder every day. And but he was weird. Like he had okay, it was like one of those like it was like those crop top ones, but it's like the dress is like the moo but it was like it was really up and it had some designs on it. It was yellow and white and he was very hairy. His arms were hairy. His beard was hairy. He had long hair, but he was very hairy and very weird. Very weird. I'm like, I know the mental institutes are closed, right? The ones the facilities where we used to keep the mental ill, that I believe that they should reopen again and house the really bad ones. I think they need more facilities like that because we're gonna start hitting more cases of things like this happening, and it's gonna get worse. Um, that sucks, man. Holding the Bible, saying that he's Jesus after killing 3 people and almost killing 4 for the chaos he commits, and then yet claiming to be Jesus. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, yes, you took the words out of my mouth, Chloe. Gross, like super gross. All right, let's go to some other news because why not, right? Let's go to some other news. So let's just be entertained. It's just wild. I don't know. It's just a wild world. So wild.
This is new at 10 o'clock. We're getting a wild
Oh.
look at this video out of Mount Pleasant.
What
See
the hell's
lightning
going on here?
strikes off the distance there, left side of your screen, then flames just
Oh,
shoot up
shit.
into the air. Terrifying sight
What
for all those
the
drivers
hell?
on a busy roadway. That flash there.
Oh my god.
Happening right from as they're moving.
Oh, I
along.
would freak
So
the
this is
fuck
after
out
a
driving.
power line there.
look,
It
look,
was hit
look.
by lightning at that point. Now, police say this is
Whoa.
video of a lightning strike that caused that power outage and traffic delays.
Whoa.
Officials add no one was injured. But again, a wild sight for drivers. So for more, we're joined the Weather Center with Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent. Kendra, got here behind us, one of those situations where you don't really expect that big bolt of
Whoa.
lightning coming down.
That's why I
when the
want
fire
cameras
shoot up
on my
in the sky,
car.
just
I mean,
like that.
I just hope everybody was able to
That's
continue
why I want
driving and not
cameras.
swerve and get into an accident because
I'm
I'd
getting
be
it for
so
Black Friday.
alarmed by all of this. But yeah, you can see it just goes to show you the power of lightning. And likely that was a positive lightning strike, the kind that happened from way up in the cloud.
Wow.
And they tend to be the most destructive, the loudest. And you also
That's
see
the only
this-
thing positive about it.
That's the only thing positive about it. Great point. But I mean, you even see like what looks like a transformer blow on the right-hand side of the screen. This has been just going all around, and it again just goes to show you that this was not a tornado warning. This was a thunderstorm that happened because of all the moisture that's been pumped into the Carolinas, and they can get dangerous really quick.
I know you're not an electrician, but would this hit have an effect with that transformer? They're all connected?
That's a great point. I do not know.
Okay.
I mean, I
Possibly.
imagine
It happens
send
all so
quite a bit, 'cause
quick.
it happens
Right.
all at the
Okay.
same time. So that electricity could have easily
surge.
been sent across. But yeah, I mean, you don't see a scene like this very
It's a
often. In fact,
surge. Oh my goodness. These reporters are so stupid. That's what you call a power surge. These reporters. It's like, you watch the news, you listen to them, right? You feel the energy, you feel the message and so forth, and you look at the image and you kind of recognizing what it is. It's a power surge. So what it did is the energy went so hype, it went to the transformer blew. It's kind of like a safety. So when that transformer blows, that's like it stops the energy there. And it kills out the energy around the area. So, and that's actually an easy work to do. They just had to put these well, they have to do the whole system. Well, unless no, because they will have to put the transformers up, change the transformers because those are gone. The lines should be fine because they're built to get that arc. They just have to got some work to do. They could get that power up within a few hours, but it's inconvenient. But it fell on a good day, Tuesday. But man, that's scary. Imagine driving, right? And you're driving, and then you're running into. Hold on, let me fix this. Okay. Give me 1 second to fix this here. I think we could watch in a slow mo, and then like imagine that you're driving. Okay, let's see if we can do slow mo on this. Okay, let me go ahead and set us up here. All right, let's go slow mo. Imagine you driving, right? This is us. We're here in this car, right? Like, yo, Chloe, what's up, girl? Look, the fucking weather. All of a sudden, we see the lightning strike, right? We see a lightning strike. We're just driving, right? This is the after effect, but we're gonna start it from the beginning because I need a beginning effect. So I'm driving. Holy shit, bitch! Look at that lightning. Oh shit! What the fuck is this on the right exploding? Oh, what the fuck? Hell no! Get me the fuck out of here! What the fuck? Man, I would have been fucking creepy the fuck out. I would have been like, what the fuck? Like, all I know, those other cars are the energy is like, what the fuck? Look at the lightning strike, and then you see the power surge. It blew the transformer. That's wild, man. That's once in a lifetime, and that's from the police cruiser. That's a police cruiser. That don't. This is a police cruiser. That's wild. He captured it, and look at that. Look at the timing with the explosion and the fire. That's a symbolism. That's some symbolism. That's symbolism. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm no pro, but I mean, like with the weather and stuff. But I know that's a surge. That's a surge. You see, and it blew out the transformer, and this is going up. But the flame, like, what made it flame up that much? You know, what did it hit to flame up that high? That's scary, man. Look at that. You see that? It looked like something came up. Like, we gotta watch this a little bit more. Hold on, let's go back. I'm just gonna, because I'm seeing slow mo and I'm starting to see things. Before he starts putting his hands up, hold on. Let's see if they have a big. Yeah, they do. Like, you see, it goes up. You see, it looks like a person. It looks like the dark angel, and it morphs. It looks like a person here. It looks like a person. Then the energy over here, look how it's lighting up. Strong energy. A lot of energy is going on right here. And then it has a face right here. Look at the ear. It looks like a jawline here. The neck. Here's the shoulder. Here's the black hair. It kind of looks like Jar Jar the Binks too. Look like Jar Jar. You got two eyes. And it's a snout right here. Could be a Jar Jar, or it could be a person's face. Look how it just gets. Like, look how it affect the area. Like, it's coming from the police cam. See the ooh. See, but you see how it goes upwards and how it blows up with fire? That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, I saw the face right away. Yeah. Let me see if I can make it big for us. Hold on. Let me throw myself somewhere in this video. Where Where is it? Man, I just had it here. I'll put me in the bottom there. And let's go through this. Like here, I see like, I don't know, like a lady, maybe some boobs right here. Like she got some boobs, and you see like her hair right here. She's looking to the right. She's looking this way. That's her look. It's that way. I'd like to see that again without. Let's see if we can put it in the beginning here. See, look at that power. It went dark for a second. The lightning and then the explosion. Now this picture looks like a female here. She has a nice top. You know, it's like very, very nice figure. Very beautiful hair. I don't know. That looks a little weird. The Jar Jar. It's like Jar Jar Binks. And then when the face turns around and looks this way, you have this explosion. Look at this white explosion. That's what I love about slowing down, because you get to see more in less time. You know what I mean? You take the time, the moment. That's how fast time goes by. It passes in a like split second. That's all it takes. But in that second, you could break that down, and you could go very slow and see what happened in that second. And look at this explosion on the right. Look at the energy. It goes from white. That's wild. That's wild energy. And it looks like a face in the cloud. It gave me like a little face. That's wild. I would freak out. If I was driving and I experienced something like that, I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? See that blue? Yeah, poof, bright white, and then that you can feel the energy. That's power, man. Strong power. Okay, enough of the story. Let me put it back in the regular. We got some more to go. All right, let's change the speed back to normal. All right. Let's come back to me. That was wild. That was wild. I like slowing it down and seeing what breaking down the image piece by piece and catching what you can see the pictures of. Like I saw a lady, I saw a lady's figure. I saw like raw energy, and the fact that it was very strong and it had an explosion that went up like fire. I never noticed lightning do that. Do lightning do that? I don't think so. That has like a fire that goes up like that. It has to hit something like it has to hit something like I don't know if it's gas or what, but the way it flamed up, the way it looked, that's very unique. Creepy, eh? Yeah, very creepy times. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. I got to start closing some windows. That guy is such a creep. Ugh, the one in Austin. Ugh. Um, let's see. We got a couple of good ones here. Let's go with. Didn't we see this one? I think. No, this is another. Oh, this is about the Target shooting again. All right, let's go back to this one because I do have another story about it. So I think we should watch it because we did. I did open it for a reason.
I was just, buying my things and until everybody started running and say somebody's shooting. I was just afraid, and I'm lucky to be alive.
We continue to follow breaking news tonight of a shooting in a North Austin parking lot. 3 people are dead tonight. This happened in North Austin at the store on Highway 183 and Olin Road. Austin police say the shooting was the start of a crime spree that stretched down to South Austin. We have live team coverage tonight with CBS Austin's Andrew Freeman, hearing from people inside the store and nearby. But we start with CBS Austin's Abigail Velez, who is live at the Target where the first shots were fired. Abigail?
Well, it's been a scary scene today. Austin police say this is where it all started. They tell me they found 3 people shot in this Target parking lot. And within minutes, the crime scene stretched across Austin, started here in this parking lot, then going to a busy intersection near Mopac, and eventually ending in a South Austin neighborhood.
We seen the first body on the ground, and then all the police started swarming in. It was just chaos.
The city of Austin is mourning tonight after a deadly shooting outside of a Target in North Austin.
I was really confused at first because, I thought that this only happened in the news and stuff. And then I kind of just froze at first.
The first call came in at 2:15 this afternoon at a Target off Highway 183 and Olin Road. Austin police say 4 minutes later, officers arrived. They found 3 people shot in the parking lot. 2 would die there, and the third died at a nearby hospital.
This is a very sad day for Austin. It's a very sad day for us all. And my condolences go out to the families.
Investigators say the suspect, a 32-year-old white male with a history of mental health issues and a long criminal record, shot one of the victims while stealing their car, the start of a crime spree.
The suspect fled the scene, stole a car from the scene, took that car, wrecked that car.
This is where police say the suspect crashed that stolen vehicle in an office complex parking lot at Mopac in Anderson Lane. APD says he then hijacked a nearby Volkswagen, injuring the driver and taking off again.
He was then found by Austin PD in South Austin, where he was taken into custody after a tasing.
But the chase ended here on La Casa Drive near South Lamar Boulevard in South Austin. But questions remain about what led up to the crime spree.
We don't know if there was an altercation or what. At this point, we're looking at video.
In a statement tonight, Target says in part, "We are devastated by the violence. Our hearts are with the families and loved ones of those who lost their lives, and we're grateful to the first responders who acted quickly."
It's just a lot. Mental strain of having to see dead bodies and blood and guns, and it's a lot.
District 4 council member Jose Chito Vela, who represents this district, says in a statement, "My heart breaks for those who just lost their lives. Glad APD has the suspect in custody."
Police were just everywhere, guns in hand, trying to find the active shooter and telling us we need to stay still. It was just a lot.
Yeah, really a graphic scene today. Now, police have not yet released the identities of any of the victims, and they also haven't released the identity of the suspect. Now, just within the last few minutes, we have learned that police are allowing people to pick up their car from this parking lot. For the majority of the day, this entire area was blocked off. But as this investigation slows down tonight, again, they're allowing people to come and pick up their car. For now, I'll toss it back to you in the studio, Walt.
Thank you, Abigail. Our team coverage of this deadly Target shooting continues tonight with Andrew Freeman. He's live in the studio tonight after spending the afternoon talking with people in and around the store when all of this happened. Andrew, what did they have to say? I'm sure they were terrified.
Well, to say the least, it's been an emotional day. I saw a lot of tears from those who were inside the store and from those who were relieved their loved ones were okay. For people who work nearby or frequent the store, there was also a lot of confusion as to why this tragedy had to happen at all.
Wow.
It was just like a loud booming sound that a lot of people were just like really shocked.
Michael Trin was working at a restaurant across the street from Target Monday afternoon when gunfire erupted.
The police came in fast and hard.
He says it quickly became chaotic.
You can see them just span all across the parking lot,
frightening their customers and staff.
We don't really hear stuff like this happen so close to home. Something that is unsettling.
Maybelline Gutierrez says she was inside the Target at Highway 138 Nolan Road doing back-to-school shopping when an alarm started going off.
Just afraid in that moment, but I was very lucky that I was in the back.
While she didn't hear gunfire from the
I
back
don't
of the
know.
store,
Is she illegal?
Everybody was just afraid.
She looks a little
I
illegal.
had kids, and I was so worried about it.
Robert Pena came to Target later only to find the entire parking lot blocked off.
It's surprising. It's a surprise and also shocking not finding out that some people died. And that's sad to say.
He says he can't believe such a tragedy happened in his own neighborhood.
It's sad for the people, and it gives a bad taste also for the neighborhood and the people around.
Trin says the shooting has left him shaken.
It's very scary to think about how fast things can turn out in such a short amount of time.
And heartbroken for the 3 people who lost their lives.
We don't know those people, but they could have been just, people that came to our restaurant. They could have been people that came to anywhere around this plaza.
In a statement, Travis County Judge Andy Brown says, "My heart breaks for the victims, their families, and all impacted by today's tragedy. We stand with them in grief and in the urgent call to end the cycle of senseless gun violence." Reporting live in studio, Andrew Freeman, CBS Austin News.
Thank you, Andrew. We're also hearing from Mayor Pro Tem Vanessa Fuentes tonight, who says she's heartbroken by the devastating loss of life and says this tragedy only highlights the need for urgent common sense gun laws and comprehensive compassion.
Yeah, it's not only about the gun laws.
Stay with CBS Austin News as we continue to follow
He has
the
a
shooting in the
history
days and weeks to come
of mental
and bring you updates both
illness.
on air and online at cbsaustin.com.
CBS is garbage. Okay, you know how I feel about CBS. He had history. He's been like, they have calls to their premises about him before. They know him. The police know him. They know his history. They're not saying everything, but the guy's a fucking nut. And the system failed him. And the fact that he's alive, he's young, and he's gonna end up seeing life. Those cameras would be so telling to see the arrest of this individual and them shocking him and him holding the Bible saying that he's Jesus and then being electrocuted and dropped to the floor and they're jumping on him and putting handcuffs on him while he was naked. Ugh. It's like, I don't know. Those weird times. We're living in very, very unique times. But let's see what else we have here. Let's see this one here. This is from an accident that happened yesterday. There's a follow-up to it, so let's watch it together.
Now about this explosion reported at U.S. Steel's Clairton Coke Works steel mill. We have video right now of Drone 4. This is Drone 4 really getting into the heart of the explosion right now. You can just take a minute here and see the blast site. You see water still spewing from what appears to be a sprinkler system, and just debris everywhere. Let's back it up just a little bit and see there are
What?
walls to
Look at
the
that.
left and to the right that are still
Holy
standing.
shit.
And then there is a massive hole in the wall, one of the exterior walls, it appears,
Wow.
of the inside of the Clairton Coke Works. Debris everywhere, some of it charred, some of it black. We saw, this is one side, and we know that within this blast site, there is now a delicate operation going on right now. And there's the smokestacks there you see that stretch up into the sky. Nothing's coming out of those smokestacks today. Conceivably, the batteries are no longer functional, a major failure, a major explosion with dozens of people reportedly injured and a rescue operation continuing at this hour.
What?
This is drone 4. This is a special view of the emergency situation inside U.S. Steel. You see one worker there on the left. We heard Sam Hall from Sky 4 describe to us how first responders, conceivably U.S. Steel employees who are first responders, pulled one person out of the wreckage, got them on a gurney, got them to an ambulance. We've seen multiple ambulances and medical helicopters leave the scene with patients rushing them to get medical help right now.
Oh my God.
Earlier today, when we looked at this same view, we saw people running.
Oh my God.
We know that it's a different scene right now. Just in the immediate moments and minutes after the
Chloe,
explosion,
this is the one crazy,
employees
like, it's been
with the white
crazy,
hard
man. The
hats and
energy.
orange suits were going quickly to address the situation. We are hearing from people at all levels of government about the emergency response to this. We are also hearing from our reporters who are on scene. Our reporters, Kaylee Gunderson and Yasmin Rodriguez, are in different
They had an
important
explosion at the
places
steel
to bring you
factory.
information about what they're seeing and learning about experiences on the ground and information that's coming firsthand from people who are there, who are in a position to talk about what's going on and confirm important, accurate information. Kaylee's right outside the gates, seeing those, a lot of ambulances, yes, firefighters as well, but really a lot of emergency medical personnel
Like, I wanna know,
working
they
hard
have-
today with their training.
They have to have cameras in there. I mean, they have to have cameras in there. They can't just like not have cameras. Like, there's more to that story. That's freaking sucks, man. Let's check out this other story here. Let me set it up for us. It's one crazy night, Chloe. It's Tuesday, girl. This is what we're doing. I'm setting up the shows that I'm watching together for the first time with you.
Fox, we are still getting fresh aerials live right now of this train derailment in Texas, near Gordon, Texas, about 100
Damn, Texas
miles
again,
west
Chloe.
of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And the concern right now is this potential active hazmat leak that is happening with these cars and also tanker cars that have overturned on the trackways there. And that is definitely going to be a major concern as you see some of the smoke still in the air here near this derailment. We have first responders that are on the scene, but one of the first really matters of business when these train derailments happen is you want to know exactly what's on board. So you got to locate the train manifest to see what this train was carrying and just how many loads it had of whatever is in those tankers that could be leaking now into the soil and elsewhere. So, yeah, there's 2 points here of this derailment that you're seeing. The jumbled mess right there at the bottom of your screen. You could see just about over a dozen of those tanker cars that have just been thrown off the track. And what a sound this must have made for the area here as these tankers got off the track right there. But again, first responders on the scene of this train derailment near Gordon, Texas, about, again, 100 miles west of Dallas. And this is going to take quite some time to get all the officials together for them to first off check what the situation may have led to. But again, the first matter of point here is always to try to really locate where the big leaks are coming from, what is coming and leaking out,
That
and
sucks.
trying to get everything stabilized before
Yeah, I wonder what
you get
chemicals are in
crews
there.
in there and close to these cars. But Skyfox zooming in just a little bit more to see some of these cars that have been thrown off the tracks, as well as the
Damn, that
multiple tanker
sucks.
cars as well that are thrown off. So we'll be keeping an eye on that for you right here on Live
Yeah,
Now
what
from
chemicals
Fox.
are
Once we
being
get some more
released?
details, we will pass that along to you as always. All right.
All right, thank you. Well, damn, that's so weird. Weird. Let's get an update on this alligator Alcatraz. They're trying to shut it down. I don't know why. I know they're trying to do like the environmental shit, but these illegals need to get out, and this is gonna have to go up to the Supreme Court, which Trump is gonna end up winning again. So let's watch it together and see what's up.
Who ruled against new construction at the Immigration Detention Center in the Everglades is being asked to shut down the entire camp. Environmental advocacy groups who won the first ruling say the center will continue to cause irreparable harm. Here's World News Weekend anchor Glenn Milberg with a debate.
An invitation to tour Alcatraz. What we learned in court, the state inviting the judge who ordered expansion work there to stop last week, with the Department of Homeland Security, the lawsuit's defendants, saying no.
If their whole argument is that DHS doesn't have jurisdiction, why do they have the standing to say no?
I'm as baffled as you are by that.
The hearing today, part of the lawsuit Friends of the Everglades filed in June, days before the detention camp opened, alleging it bypassed required federal review. On the stand today, Miccosukee Tribe environmental experts on water quality and Everglades endangered wildlife. Thousands of humans' needs, actions, and wastewater will impact critical water quality, alter the Everglades, and impact tribal communities, lifestyle, and traditions.
They only looked at one site, and there are plenty of sites with runways and with facilities and with wells in the ground that could have supported something like this. But, they wanted to do it in the middle of our Everglades and in the middle of our big cypress.
The case picks up here at Miami Federal Court tomorrow morning. The entire point of this lawsuit is to get the camp they call Alligator Alcatraz closed down permanently. The Department of Homeland Security saying this is a misplaced lawsuit because we don't have jurisdiction because the state is the one that built it. Louis.
So, Glenn, on that point, is there any more clarity today about who's actually in charge here? Is it the state or the federal government?
Good question, and there is not. But we do think we've solved a little bit of that problem because clearly immigration is a federal jurisdiction, DHS. The state built this facility. The state is operating it in the Everglades, so it may well be a split jurisdiction. What goes on inside DHS, the actual building and its operations, the state. But that is a big question that complicates a lot of this legal issue here.
Yeah, well, guess what? Trump is gonna say fuck you and keep it going, and that's it. We gotta get these illegals out, man. Stop with all the fucking excuses. It's like too many excuses. It's like once you have one excuse, then you're gonna have 1,000 more of them. And it's like it's not good. It's not good for our minds. It's not good for everything that we're going through. It's like no. We don't want that energy. It's like it's just a lot of dumb people. Talking about dumb people, let's check out this one. Let's see what this is about. Because it's about low IQ. I guess Jasmine Crockett. She's a low IQ. I believe she is. Let's see.
Ben Ferguson podcast host. So you were just telling me off camera, Democrats had better wake up because Republicans are all in. What does that mean?
All in means you don't show up for work, and then guess what? You're probably going to lose your job, and we're going to do exactly what we need to do our job. And I think there's two parts of this. One of it's just Texas Central. You have flood relief that is being tied up by Democrats who are refusing to come to work because they're trying to play a national issue on gerrymandering, which has backfired because now everyone in America knows just how much Democrats have been gerrymandering all over the country. Like, this is one of the most beautiful backfires I've ever seen by Democrats. You go after Republicans, you say, this is what they're doing. It's like, look at California. 40% of the people there are Republicans, and they have no representation. You look at all these other states, Chicago, or Illinois, I should say, and you keep going down the list. And what you're witnessing is what they've been doing for decades, and now there's finally a spotlight on it. So I love that. But look, I think Democrats are in big trouble in Texas. The people in Texas are angry with them. This is going to be a massive backfire.
All right, so the president is doubling down in his war of words with a far-left congresswoman. He posted, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is a low, very, all three exclamation points there, all caps, IQ individual, much in the mold of the AOC plus 3 gang of country-destroying morons, only slightly dumber. Wow. Crockett's been trolling the president with choice words like this.
Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of give me a break. Kind of like, the orange orangutan, the Timu Hitler. We have a Timu Hitler in the White House right now that thinks that he is going to become the dictator of the United States.
Behind closed doors, reportedly, she's no different. In fact, this woman is
sounds
straight
stupid.
up a bully. 3 separate sources who have worked
How the hell she gets up
for
that
Jasmine
high?
Crockett tell the New York Post she creates a toxic work environment. Actually, that's against the law. They say she screams at her staff, is never in the office, freaks out at the most random things, and is focused almost exclusively on being an influencer. One source sums her all up as all diva, no wow. Crockett laughed off the accusations.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I know that I have arrived, honey. That is the way that I see this. Because as Beyonce says,
Why
if
she has
they're
a
not
quote
talking about
Beyonce?
you, then obviously you must not be doing anything. You know what? This is just more slander, more nonsense.
Why she has to
more
bring up
lies. Being a
Beyonce?
Black woman, there's a lot of scrutiny that comes
You're
my
a
way. And it
24-year-old
comes my way
little
from all
punk.
different angles. But
Oh,
when
Black
people
woman,
start talking
shut
about
up.
you, that's when you know that you are obviously getting under their skin.
Oh, you so
Being a Black
oppressed.
woman. So apparently that is on her list of resume merits.
Yeah, you can be
Oh,
racist towards
Lord.
Donald Trump, as you just heard in all the things she called him. That is racism 101. And then she says, if you criticize me for doing my show or my interviews or my TikToking from my couch and not coming to the office, now you're somehow racist. Look, the Democratic Party created this. They created the AOCs. They allowed the Marxists and the Socialists and the Communists to get into the party. Now they're in charge of the party. And then they wonder why they have the lowest approval rating in history since we've been doing polls. The Democratic Party's never been lower now. It is because of the AOCs. I said this several years ago, I think on your show. Don't get rid of AOC. Give her
You
money.
have said
Keep
it.
her in office because it just tells the American people how unserious the Democratic Party is. They don't care about you.
You know what, though? I said this earlier about the violent crime in D.C. and other Dem-led cities to my previous panel of guests. I have to say this to you as well. The collateral damage, though, are the people.
Yes.
And yes, all the shenanigans and the politics and the trolling and the nasty words and all of it. At the end of the day, the people actually don't do well under all of that. So Trump is able to cut through that. Democrats don't cut through that just to do their
DC
jobs.
is a perfect example. Leave it to Democrats to be angry that the president of the United States of America is trying to fight crime.
Exactly.
They were mocking him last night on TV, calling him like Batman. And I'm like, Batman fights crime. Like, how is that an insult to the president of the United States of America when he's trying to fight crime? But Democrats are so deranged right now on Trump derangement syndrome. Anything Orange Man does is bad. And they keep getting these elected officials who are influencers. They don't know how to govern. They're not serious. and they run away from their jobs. So you look at Texas. I'm glad we're seeing now Democrats don't like to go to work, apparently, if you're elected.
Oh, and toss in a swath of them are communists.
Yes.
Right. And what's the president of the United States trying to do? Fight a communistic government.
Yeah.
And President and Putin to stop a war against Ukraine.
But they're mad that they let Putin into America, right? Because we actually want to stop people from dying. Democrats, only Democrats can do this. They can literally be angry if you're saving lives in America. And they're mad at Donald Trump for trying to stop people from dying in Ukraine and Russia. That's the Democratic Party.
All right. Finn.
Good to see you.
Ferguson, thank you very much.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. The Democratic Party is just really off its rockers, and I don't know what's happened to them, man. I feel like they're losing out on the signal. I think they're short circuit the signal, and they're all just weird right now. The Democrats are in a very bad position. Like, the gig is up. Like, it was like a once upon a time story, and now it's over. Like, stability is back. Now let's go to, let's see, I got one more story. I was waiting for a Tyson story, but Tyson hit 100,000. That's so awesome. That's so awesome of for him, you know, his channel. I'm so proud of him. Okay, let's go ahead and set this up here. And let's go ahead and turn this. Sorry about that. It's a damn internet. Internet went crazy for a second. I guess the energy is so high, so the system is just acting up right now. So we're gonna watch this last video, unless something else pops up from here and there. So until then, let's just watch this together.
The president has already said he wants to see Adam Schiff held accountable for the countless lies he told the American people in relation to the Russiagate scandal. I brought Tulsi Gabbard out to this podium to talk to you about all of that. And this administration is taking accountability very seriously. As for this new FBI whistleblower report, I understand Kash Patel last night declassified a 302 FBI document showing that a whistleblower who is a Democrat, a career intelligence officer who worked for Democrats, Donald Trump over the Russiagate scandal. This is obviously a bombshell whistleblower report. Hopefully more people in this room will cover it as such. And I have a quote from the FBI director for all of you. He has said this: "For years, certain officials used their positions to selectively leak classified information to shape political narratives. It was all done with one purpose: to weaponize intelligence and law enforcement for political gain. Those abuses eroded public trust in our institutions. The FBI will now lead the charge with our partners at DOJ, and Congress will have the chance to uncover how political power may have been weaponized and to restore accountability." That's what the administration is focused on, and hopefully we'll see some more media reports on this whistleblower allegation. If this were reversed, if this were allegations against the president or any of these cabinet officials, I'm sure everyone in this room would cover it as such. Elizabeth, go ahead.
Thanks, Carolyn. After yesterday's action to federalize the DC police, is the president still interested in working with Congress to end the Home Rule Act, something you talked about in the past? Senator Mike Lee has a bill on it. Is that something he's still interested in?
The president is very much still interested in working with Congress to address many of the issues that have plagued Washington, D.C., such as the cashless bail policy, which has been a complete disaster for the city. Juvenile delinquency is another major problem in the city that Congress can address. So I know Congress is on recess right now. When they get back to work to Washington, this president looks forward to having these conversations with our friends on Capitol Hill so we can work with them to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And again, we encourage Democrats to join us in this effort. Perhaps their approval ratings would move up a little bit if they did. I saw a new poll today. Democrat approval rating is at an all-time low, 32%. If they could just stand by the basic notion of law and order, perhaps they would see that tick up a bit, and we welcome them to do that. Dasha.
Thanks, Caroline. President Trump yesterday at this podium indicated this, so has NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, that in order for peace to happen, it is very likely that Ukraine will have to cede some land to Russia. Zelensky has repeatedly said no land for peace. That's not going to happen. Has this administration communicated to Zelensky that he's going to have to change that position?
Look, I appreciate you're asking that question in a different way than your colleague Michael in the back. I don't want to get into the details of these negotiations and these discussions that have taken place out of respect for where we are right now. And I'll let the president speak on it further if he wishes to.
One more about Israel. I know the president has had a call with Prime Minister Netanyahu recently. Netanyahu is planning to seize the remainder of Gaza City. What is the administration's position on this move by Israel's government?
Look, this is an incredibly complex and complicated war that, again, was inherited by this president, by his predecessor, Joe Biden. October 7th was one of the worst days in history. We saw innocent people slaughtered, murdered, kidnapped by Hamas terrorists. This administration has taken extensive time and effort and resources since Inauguration Day in January to end this conflict. We have given many flexible arrangements backed by Israel to Hamas, and unfortunately, Hamas has never agreed. Looking ahead, I will let the president speak on where he sees this going, but this is, of course, an incredibly complex and complicated situation. The administration has made our goal clear. We want to see this conflict end. We want to see the hostages released. And we've tried, the president and his national security team have given extensive effort and time to doing that.
With how Israel has used those resources and the assistance that you've provided?
Look, I'll let the president speak on the further actions that Israel may or may not be taking.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday.
Cut this off here. I actually came up with two of Jason A that he had uploaded today, and I would like to watch it. And I think it would be very interesting for us to watch. So let me set this up. Make sure everything's good on this side. And let's watch together.
I think it was Ivan Illich who said that before, in the time before Christ, there were many forerunners to Christ. In the time after Christ, there will be many forerunners of the Antichrist. So in some sense, it's a type. So Nero was a type of the Antichrist, or maybe Napoleon was a type of the Antichrist. And it's sort of a, it's someone who aspires for world domination, to create, creation of this sort of one world state. Somebody's Alexander the Great was sort of a pre-Christ prototype of the Antichrist. It's sort of very parallel to Christ. They both die at 33. Alexander conquers the world. Christ saves it. So sort of a compare and contrast. And so, but in some sense, the Antichrist as an idea is something that really comes into being in the world after Christ. And so there's, and then there's a lot of things about it that are mysterious. In some ways, the Antichrist copies Christ. The Antichrist pretends to be greater than Christ, hyper-Christian, ultra-Christian, and then maybe only ultimately, deeply, deeply anti-Christian. You can think of it as a system, where maybe communism is a one-world system. So it can be an ideology or a system. And then of course, you can also think of it as Newman did, where it's sort of the final dictator of the one-world state, where it's still, you stress it more as a person. You can do it as a type, a system, a person. How does a sort of world takeover actually happen? And it's kind of not a deus ex machina, but like a daemonium ex machina. It's like the Antichrist just gives these hypnotic speeches where nobody can remember a word, and then sort of just swindles people's souls out of them, and they submit to this totalitarian state or something like this. And I think if we were to speculate on how to solve that plot hole, we have an answer in the world after 1945. That people are in 1900, early 20th century, people were not yet scared of apocalyptic weapons. They could not imagine, anything of the scale that we'd have by the second half of the 20th century. And so the Antichrist takes over by talking about Armageddon.
We have the mechanisms that would make world government, a gigantic global surveillance state, is plausible.
That seems plausible too. And then I think, again, to come back to the Soloviev-Benson plot hole, on its own, they both seem not that desirable. Why would we have a crazy surveillance state? Why would we, why would we do this? But if you're scared enough of these things, that's the weapon. And this is sort of where my speculative thesis is that if the Antichrist were to come to power, it would be by talking about Armageddon all the time. And
Peter Thiel, the Antichrist would talk about Armageddon all the time. He'd scare people and then offer to save them.
Yes, it's the 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety. And so, which is nothing wrong with peace and safety, but you have to sort of imagine that it resonates very differently in a world where the stakes are so absolute, where the stakes are so extreme, where the alternative to peace and safety is, Armageddon and the destruction of all things. And then that's where peace and safety gets you way more than it would have in 1750.
Rene Girard, in I Saw Satan Fall Like Lightning, one of his books, the Antichrist boasts of bringing to human beings the peace and tolerance that Christianity promised, but has failed to deliver.
There are probably, I think there are all these elements where it's downstream from Christianity. You can think of, the poor shall inherit the earth, Sermon on the Mount. Marxist theory is we're going to be more Christian. We're going to accelerate it. We're going to bring it about faster. So there is, the Antichrist probably presents as a great humanitarian, as a great, it's redistributive. It's as an extremely great philanthropist, as an effective altruist. All of those kinds of things. And these things are not, simply anti-Christian, but it is always when they get overly combined with state power that something is very wrong. There are sort of ways Christ wants to unify the world. You have the parable of the Good Samaritan, where you should take care of people even if you're not related to them, and it's good to act like the Good Samaritan and to take care of people not just in your family or tribe or country, but then if you force everyone to be a Good Samaritan and you force a brutalist world, it's somehow adjacent. It's an intensification, but it's somehow also very much the opposite. And then you can think of it as a system, where maybe communism is a one world system. So it can be an ideology or a system. And then of course you can also think of it as Newman did, where it's sort of the final dictator of the one world state, where it's still, you stress it more as a person. You can think of it as a type, a system, a person. It has something to do in this post-Christian, it's something that's sort of a possibility in this post-Christian world. It is in some ways, and it's related to Christ in a very complicated way. So, the theological question you can always ask, is it possible to be too Christian? And in theory, no. But in practice, if you think you're more Christian than Christ, you're in trouble.
This is my very specific question for you, right? Is that you're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
Yeah.
There are all these different scenarios. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
I mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe. But is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety.
The time and place is set. France will recognize the state of Palestine in September at the United Nations. After teasing the prospect for months, France's President Emmanuel Macron made the announcement on social media.
True to its historic commitment to a just and lasting peace in the Middle East, I've decided that France will recognize the state of Palestine. I will make the solemn announcement at the UN General Assembly next September. The urgency today is to end the war in Gaza and provide aid to the civilian population. Peace is possible.
As a supporter of the two-state solution, Macron has repeatedly defended the merits of his approach for the Palestinians, but also for the Israelis.
I believe in the future of a two-state solution as the basis for a regional security architecture that will allow Israel to live in peace and security with its neighbors. I believe in a need to unite our voices in Paris, London, and everywhere else to recognize a state of Palestine and initiate this political dynamic, which is the only one consistent with the prospect of peace.
As a permanent member of the UN Security Council, France is the most powerful European nation to date to announce such a move.
Wow. That's so freaking wild. We're living in wild times. We're going to watch another one, Jason A's. Give me 1 second to set it up. We're having the last one. I have one more. He just uploaded this one. So we're going to watch it together. I really like his reporting, man. He does good reporting.
It's getting weird. Part infinity. Life has never been the same since COVID. I was just on my morning walk right now, and I was just like, listen, it's not the same. And I'd be trying to figure out, like, why? Why is it not the same, right? And I don't know. I can't figure it out. Because I'm kind of mixed in the point where it's like, okay, is it because of COVID? Or is it just because I'm getting older? And I can't tell. I want to blame it on COVID. Like, I think back to, like, pre-COVID, like, circa 2018 and before. Right, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I can't even really remember that. I can, but it's like I don't remember the feeling. It's like a weird, faint feeling. And the only way I get that feeling again is through music. I listen to music, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I don't know, man. Anybody else feeling this?
I remember the time from 2016 to 2019 as the happiest time of my life. I was broke as hell, had no real plan, didn't know where I was going, but somehow every day felt kind of magical. Waking up actually felt exciting. Even just sipping a beer in a local forest with the homies or walking around in your neighborhood felt like an adventure. It's weird. I remember those days so clearly. The air just felt lighter. The people around me felt real. Conversations were deeper. Even when things sucked, there was this feeling that anything was possible and everything's gonna be alright. It wasn't about money or some big success. It was just the vibe. We didn't care so much about what everyone else was doing. We were just out there living. Even if we were stressed or struggling, life still felt full somehow. You could just lose yourself in a moment and it felt enough. But then at some point, Especially after 2020, something changed. COVID hit and everything just stopped. Suddenly the world felt smaller. They started to blend into each other. That sparked that excitement. It was just gone, at least for me. It's like we all got stuck in this loop, just checking our phones, waiting for the next bit of news, the next distraction. Hanging out with people turned into video calls. Even when things opened up again, it just wasn't the same. Life felt off. A lot of people talk about this feeling too, like it's not just me. It's like something shifted in the world around 2019 or 2020. Maybe it's just getting older. Or maybe it really is some timeline shift people joke about on Reddit. Sometimes it feels like we all woke up in a slightly different version of our lives.
That's what I say.
Taste is different. People act different. Even the weather feels weird. And everything just moves so fast now. Years fly by. Everyone's busy, but nobody really feels present. And we try to fill that emptiness with scrolling, notifications, random videos, trying to keep up, looking at brain rot. But it never really works. The stuff that used to make us happy feels kind of dead now. Even good news doesn't hit the same. There's always this background noise, this weird pressure to be switched on and connected all the time. Maybe the world did change. Maybe we are just changing.
But I see where a lot of people have been talking about the same topic, about how their life, this is what they're saying in the comment section, that their life doesn't feel the same to them anymore. Kind of like they're half in this world and half out of this world. And I just want you guys to know, for the ones that feel that way, that you're not alone, because I feel that way every single day. Every single day, I no longer feel like the person I once was. And it's almost like I don't even recognize life anymore. I mean, here I've been on this planet for 54 years, but this world feels so foreign to me. And ever since COVID, it seemed like we went through some kind of like time shift. And it just seems like everything is happening so much faster now. I know that things go faster as you get older. I understand that, but I'm not talking about that kind of thing. It seems like everything is in like extreme fast forward. The days fly by. There just seems like there isn't enough time to even get 2 things done in a day. 2 things before it's time to go to bed. It's like, Jesus, I didn't even have time to do 2 things. I have been trying to convey in a video what I'm talking about, and I'm not able to do it, you guys. I'm just not able to put my finger on it. How in the hell did we go from what we remember the world being like to this? How did it come to this? Where every single thing is a fortune. I was talking to Roger today because I had to run a couple dump truck loads of soil for him today because he's got a new mobile home coming into his park. And when he come to pick me up, he told me, he says, Jesus, Kev, he says, today, just to go out your front door before you even do anything, he said, it's $100. Because I told him I went to the dentist today, and just to have this tooth right here, a filling in that tooth right there, because I was getting a tiny little cavity, $560 today for a little tiny filling in that tooth. And I told Roger, I said it was $560. And he's like, holy shit. He says, yeah, it cost a lot of money just to leave your house today. What the hell happened to life? What the hell happened to this world? What the hell happened to people? Nobody wants to do anything anymore. Nobody wants to get together anymore. Nobody cares about anything.
Well,
you can't even talk to people about anything today and have them even give a damn about anything. Nobody cares. This world is just like gray.
No.
If I could sum it up in one word, it's literally like life today is just gray, like this sweatshirt. It's like life lost all of its excitement, all of its happiness, all of its joy, all of everything that made up a wonderful life. It's like none of it exists anymore. People are just like robots going about their daily routine and their business, and they're all just going to bed the same as everyone else, and the days just fly by. And nobody does anything anymore. Nobody wants to do anything anymore. People are just content with just sitting and being on their phones or being on the internet and accomplishing nothing. But life today is so drastically different that it almost seems like my entire past was a dream. And then I woke up from that dream, and this is the reality that's always been. And it's nowhere near as good as what the dream was. That's what it seems like to me. What made it like that? Was it COVID? Was it some psychological experiment that changed us all?
Possibly.
Unbeknownst to any of us? Did something happen to us that we're not even aware of?
Yep.
I don't even recognize the world anymore today.
So
and
weird.
anything I go out there and do doesn't have the same feel as it once did. Not the way I remember it being. It's not even close to being the same. It's not even comparable. Maybe someone watching this video will be able to explain it better than I ever could in the comment section down below. Let me know how you guys feel, what you think, and do you see the world the same way it feels to me, or is it just me? Is it just me?
First, a major announcement from President Trump. We will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
Also breaking, New York City's St. Patrick's Day parade now postponed.
More breaking news to tell you about the NBA tonight, suspending its season until further notice after a player tests positive for COVID-19.
And a big announcement from actor Tom Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson. The two now in isolation, both saying they have the virus.
Well, these are live pictures from Kennedy Airport. Business as usual there tonight, but come Friday at midnight, it all changes. The U.S. closing its borders to parts of Europe and not to Americans. A very different situation than what the president initially said tonight. And now there is big confusion.
President Trump tonight imposed drastic new travel restrictions on people wishing to come to the United States from any of 26 Western European countries. For the next 30 days, only Americans and green card holders will be allowed into this country if they are traveling from those 26 Western European countries. The United Kingdom is not affected by the travel ban.
Wow. Yeah, I remember those days. Those days are crazy as hell. That's for damn sure. Well, I hope we don't get to go back to those days, but at this point, the way the Democrats are acting, and they're acting crazy, and they want something to be stirred up, I don't know. I don't got the patience for it. I don't. But I'm going to end the show now. It's been 2 hours I've been on, so I am tired. But I want to thank you guys for coming through and watching, and I appreciate the ones who really come and watch and the ones that rewatch. Thank you very much. I put together a good little lineup of news, that I think it'll interest all of us. And I'll be back tomorrow like usual. But have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And thank you, Chloe, for coming through, and Albie and everybody else. Thank you so much. I'm tired. It's been a long day, and I had physical therapy today, and they really worked on me, and my head is like a little heavy for me right now, and I just want to lay down so bad. But it was cool. We got some news out the way, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace for now.